Hey, how's it going? This is Alan Robertson. In this video, I'm covering the perfect vision process, which is a quick and easy way to reflect on recent memory and get the lessons and reprogram ourselves in the language of our whole being and whole mind to increase joy and happiness. So let's get into the slides. So the perfect vision exercise or process, I find it to be pretty quick, fun, and easy. It's a great way to program yourself for happiness and success in any area of your life effectively. And it's pretty powerful, but it's deceptively simple, and I'll get into why that is. So in this video, I'm going to also do a step-by-step where I demo actually doing the exercise. So I will do one on the spot for you so you get an idea of how it flows. And the cool thing about this is once you know this tool, it only takes a few minutes and you can basically chip away at any time enjoyably and increase the quality of your life. And by that, I mean the creation that you're going to be inclined to bring forth into the world from an unconscious level. At the level of your habits will change through doing this exercise. And also you'll consciously be aware of what lessons you need to get, and you'll also be consciously aware of where you want to go as well. So the creation shifts with that. So why is it powerful and deceptively simple? The idea is all in one, this little exercise that you can do with a piece of paper and a pencil. It gives you the awareness of where you want to go in your life. So that might be in relationships, it might be in work, it might be in just your overall state of being, it might be in what time of day you wake up in the morning and how refreshed you feel, it might be health related stuff. It's basically anything that you experience in your life. And with the awareness, your mind's going to serve you up what's most relevant to you these days. And also then you contained all in the same exercise, you will be speaking your whole mind's language, the language of touch, vision, intuition, scent, hearing, basically everything that you experience right now in the room you're sitting in a room listening to this, or maybe you're outside listening to it. But as man and woman, we experience the world with all of our various senses and levels of intuition as well. So that, as opposed to, say, affirmations are linguistic tools for attempting to shift your creation essentially and try out new ways of being. But this is going to be speaking to your whole mind on all of its languages when done appropriately. So like I mentioned, it brings up what's most relevant for you right now. So you can ask topically about an area of your life that feels like consciously you're aware of that you want to work on, but you might be surprised when you actually do the exercise, as I'll show you in a minute. Your mind may serve you up something that you go, oh yeah, right, that, and it shows you what's most important and most relevant to your whole being, basically. And it speaks to all levels of mind and experience. And basically, when you first get awareness of what your mind wants to communicate to you, your unconscious mind, and you program it, and this thus adjusts the path of your conscious and unconscious creation and manifestation in a pretty easy little package. So the basics of the process itself, how you do it, is you start by getting a recent memory of significance. I'll show you how to do that. Once you have a memory, you jot it down on paper so it doesn't run away from you and your mind doesn't wander on to other things. Step 2, you rate the desirability of the memory on a scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10, where 10 is as good as you can imagine anything being. So it really feels perfect and right for you. It really makes your heart sing, and 0 being, well, having no desirability. So step 3, once you've written down, again, on paper, you write out your desirability, you tune that memory up into a perfect for you imaginary experience. And in that sense, you can change anything. You can change the actors, as in the people in the memory. You can change what's being said. You can change the reasons for why things are happening. You can change the smells in your mind if you love certain smells. You can do literally anything you want. So it's pretty cool. And by doing this and taking that initial memory of significance and then tuning it up on all levels of experience to something perfect for you, and then step 4, declaring and instructing your mind and being at all levels to create in this way, in the way that you've just created in this new imaginary experience. By doing that, you have now changed the course of your creation, consciously and unconsciously. More in depth, As I'm going to show you in a minute, we first focus inward and set the intention for highest good. That's important so that you're, just setting an intention for highest good for me and of all concerned. By the way, this whole process that I'm going through now is just a more in-depth, all steps of this basics here, but it's the actual. I wanted to give you kind of the 10,000 foot overview here. The details. Step 2, ask for a relevant memory, write down what comes. Clarify it if necessary. Rate the desirability. Create and write down your perfect alternative. Under your perfect alternative, you rate and write the desirability, and then you just keep tuning it up until it really feels perfect and makes your heart sing to imagine that future potential. And then you breathe in and take in the experience of that imaginary experience through a little incantation that I'll teach you. And then if you want to continue with a deeper learning, you can check in with yourself about what specific lessons and learnings you got out of seeing the original memory and then creating the perfect alternative. You may have that contrast allows for certain lessons. Step 9, if you feel is relevant, you can check in for choice points for initial or previous points of memory where you made a choice that the actual learning is in that choice moment, like changing decisions that led to an outcome. So there's a ton of stuff baked in here. If you just follow, I'll make a little printout for the steps here, and you just follow it through, and it's pretty powerful what can come out of it. You'll start seeing new possibilities, and you'll see that your creation will shift. Your days will get better just by doing this here and there. So here we are going to go into an example of me doing the exercise now. Hope you enjoy. All right, so here I am doing the perfect vision process, an example in real time for you. So I'm going to go through the steps. Step 1 is to focus inward and set my intention for this process to happen for the highest good of me and of all concerned. So how I do that? I take a breath, relax inward, close my eyes a little bit just to let go of whatever's going on externally. And then I actually physically tap right the center of me where I feel a connection with my heart. And I say, talking to all parts of my mind and being, I say, please make this process happen in ways that are for the highest good of me and of all concerned. And then I breathe that in. And then step number 2 is ask for a relevant memory. And now this can be done, as we talked about, for whatever topic or time frame you want to go for. But I'm going to go, please show me a memory. And again, I'm tapping on the very center of me, speaking to the heart of me and all parts of me. I say, please show me a memory of something really relevant that happened recently. Please do that in ways that are for the highest good of me and of all concerned. So when I do that, I get initially a somewhat foggy recollection of being at a storage garage where I had my motorbike and a couple of machines over the winter. So I go as is memory, and I don't need to write out much detail. It's just enough for me to remember and feedback for my own system, seeing it written out so the mind can't wander and we can focus on whatever it is that the mind's giving us. So I'm getting memory at the storage garage. I'm going planned to pick up bike and aerators. And this memory, we typically want to keep it to a small and manageable piece of consciousness or memory. So if you have a lot of, you have a whole evening coming out with a page full of details, that's too much to really work with this perfect vision exercise. Reason being that this is a tool for getting a specific piece of consciousness and memory and turning it around into something beautiful that's perfect for me. So smaller the better, and you can work for, if you want to cover a whole evening where a lot of stuff went awry for you, then you can approach it in little bits. So I'm at the storage garage, plan to pick up my motorbike and aerators. Realize that, and you can see I'm just scratching it, like it's only for me to read, it's not for anybody else. Realize that motorbike won't fit with 3 other machines, and van seat. Also forgot motorbike key. So can't test start bike to drive up ramp. So a number of things in there. So that's step number 2. And basically what you do is you just write what you get. So initially I was like, okay, I'm getting something about the storage garage. Oh yes. Okay. I get more details as I write it down. It comes, I'm picking the bike up and this is what happened. If you get a really foggy image of something or even a feeling, you can write down the feeling. Say all you got initially when you asked for a memory was, oh, I have a strange sense of dread or something. You could write down strange sense of dread, and then just inwardly again check in and ask your system to give you more details on what this memory is. But for me, this memory is complete now, so I go on to step number 3. Ask for clarification if necessary. All good. Step number 4 then for that is under the memory that I got, I write desirability. And the purpose of writing all of this down is that, again, it keeps the mind from wandering. So do write all the words and give yourself that visual feedback. So you write the out of 10 here, and then I check in with myself. So I read this over again. I'm at the garage, plan to pick the bike and aerators up. So I'm seeing that memory in my mind with my eyes closed, and it feels like I'm getting 6 out of 10 desirability. So now that I've done that, step number 5 is create and write down a perfect alternative. So I'll write now here a new heading, perfect alternative. And then if I want, I can cross things out and really work with what is up here, but I can also do it intuitively as well. So whatever works. So what I'm getting initially is my van is cleaned out in the back upon arrival at the garage. So I'll be able to fit all machines and bike. Have bike key and excitedly start the bike up. And miraculously, even after winter, the bike has enough juice to start and load in van. Okay, so I've written that out. That feels really good to me, like relieving and nice and beautiful. So I'm going to imagine this through in my mind and just imagine feeling everything, seeing everything, hearing what sounds I want to hear, smelling smells if it feels good, intuitions I might have. So anything that really, for me, is going to make this a 10 out of 10. And I'll just check in what the desirability is right now of it. Okay, so I'm meditating on the perfect experience that I've created in my mind, and I'm seeing myself clicking the key over on the bike, and the fuel injection sound comes on, and that's joyful. And then I start it up. I can hear it churning a few times, and then it starts up. I can feel, I'm just smiling thinking about it right now. And yeah, I'm seeing in my mind's eye, I'm seeing the back of my van, which is totally clear of plywoods and boards and knickknacks from my previous work season. It's all clear, and I have my ramp and my nail there, able to basically set up a ramp on the back of my van and get the motorbike in. All that feels really good, and I can see my motorbike's going on the left of the van. My van seat goes right in the middle to protect it, and then I've got my aerators that can go on the right. And that all feels really good, and I can feel like I feel really happy right now imagining that in my system. So I'm getting 9 out of 10 is what it feels like. So step number 6 in the process is write the desirability and tune it up till it's 10 out of 10. So 10 out of 10. So I'm going to check in what is it. Again, I'm tapping on my heart center of myself, and I'm asking what could possibly be better about this that I could add. And I'm getting that start the van and am happy to see it has a full tank, which I was able to enjoy fully by earlier today because I'm doing quite well. Okay, so that's what my mind is giving me on the spot when I ask what's required to make this a 10 out of 10. And so again, none of this actually happened in real life. Like I was down to basically my van tank was empty when I got to the garage. I didn't have the van key in reality, or the motorbike key in reality. And the second time when I came back to pick the motorbike up, the battery on the bike was totally dead. And I had to wait around for about an hour while my little charger unit was working on it. So this is like my mind giving me a whole bunch of feedback on how it wants to be in the future. And it's just about coming to homeostasis within yourself about what feels good to you. So I'm checking in one last time. Is there anything else I can add to this to make it any better? And I get a no visually in my mind's eye, and like I get an image of a smiley face. Some people are visual, some people get into like, I feel really good in my system right now as well. So you might just run on intuition or auditory feedback from your system, but as long as everything to you feels great and it's 10 out of 10, then perfect. That's all done for that part. So now I'm just going to take step number 7 here, take in the experience, or really be in that perfect alternative. And then once I'm basically really feeling it's perfect in my mind, then I declare my intent to create this way in the future. So I'm going to do that. So I'm just imagining, again, the motorbike starting. I can feel a smile on my face, and I feel bliss in my chest, in my gut, around my shoulders and head, around that. I can see starting the van as well. After I packed everything up, it all fits nicely in the back of the van. Starting the van, turning it on, and I see my full tank of gas there, and that feels really good to me. Feels really nice to imagine it. So now what I do is in my mind, I just surround that imaginary experience with a ball of white light, and then I move it right into the center of me, in my heart center, and I say, this is an example of how I want to experience and create in the future. And I'm talking to all my parts. Please make that happen in ways that are for the highest good of me and of all concerned. I breathe that in. Cool. So that was number 7. And now we're going to self-check in about any learnings or lessons. So I might summarize lessons I'm getting before setting out on an adventure. Do a quick check in if I need anything. Key. Anything else? I'm getting work with money emotions, because I'm sensing a bit of tension around money related issues these days between work seasons right now. So there's a number of ways I could work with that. And so that's all I'm getting for right now. So that was step 8, check in about learnings or lessons. And step number 9 is check in for relevant choice points leading to this memory. So what this is all about is, a lot of times if I'm in a certain situation, like for example, I'm at the garage and I don't have a key with me, there were choice points that happened that led to that experience happening. So I'm going to ask my mind, please show me a choice point that relates to the creation of this original memory that I had here. So I tap on my heart center. You don't have to do that, but it's just checking in with the core of yourself and say, please show me the choice points that led to this experience, and breathe that in. So I get an image of choice points. I'm in my room, picking up keys, then putting keys on, or putting shoes on. Then leaving house. So this is how it actually happened that day. And so I'm going to basically do another perfect vision exercise, perfect vision exercise here, as is. And I get choice points. I'm in my room picking up my keys to go, putting my shoes on, then leaving the house. Desirability. Out of 10. And I'll get 3. My system's giving me a 3. And then I'm going to go perfect alternative. Pick up keys as I put my shoes on. I remember my habitual ceremony of a quick check-in about if I need anything important. And I'm getting visualized through. So this time I'm envisioning this in my mind, and I'm basically doing the whole perfect vision exercise again, but really focused around tuning this up to a 10. So desirability on this. So yeah, okay, so I'm imagining picking up my keys. Okay, I'm getting, to make this a perfect 10 for me, I feel good. So I'm seeing, putting my shoes on, doing a little check. So I'm imagining, okay, I'm going to pick up the machines and the motorbike, and I'm visualizing through. Okay, great. So I'm going to need to start the bike, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got to remember a key. So I'm seeing that in my mind. And then also, last thing, say a prayer on leaving house. Yeah. So that feels really good to imagine all of that. I can see it in my mind and covering all the bases, leaving the house happy and prepared with everything. And I'm actually getting, finally, additionally, van is clean. Okay, so I'm going to take a moment to check in with that. It's my rating of desirability on that. I'm getting 10 out of 10. And then, so I'm back to step number 7, take in the experience. So take a second to really get into that and see everything, feel everything. Surround that experience in my mind and my experience with a ball of white light. Move that to my heart center and breathe that in. This is the way that I would like to experience and create in the future. Please make that happen in ways that are for the highest good of me and of all concerned. Amen. Step 8 and step 9, I'm feeling intuitively like they don't need to happen right now. I'm going to move on about other things in my day. So complete. Thank you. So this is like a little celebration moment here. All right, and that's a process of me doing a perfect vision exercise with you. Last notes about this process is you can see how if you were to cover a whole evening with a whole bunch of events in it and you were to try and turn all of this around, you could be there for hours basically. So this is really most beneficial if you're able to hone in on specific choice moments or specific items from within a constellation of events, such as an evening or a holiday or a work day. Really hone in on the most important parts and just get that down. It'll usually be anywhere between 1 to 4 sentences. So there it is. Now you know the process. And all it takes really, once you get into it and get into the flow of doing these, is it only takes, 1 to 5 minutes for actually doing this exercise. And let's talk about a few ways that you can kind of get in the habit of using this and really effectively help yourself out, increase your joy, increase your well-being in whatever ways feel important to you. So primarily, you can do a little daily review before bed. This is a great way of kind of picking this up and making it part of your life. Just spend 10 minutes, focus on your heart center and ask, please show me memories from today of high importance. Or you can frame it with your words, however you want, like give me a memory of high importance today, or give me the area where I can most improve by doing a perfect vision exercise right now, and see what your mind serves you. And do write it down on the paper. That written feedback is really helpful for the process of clarity and tuning things up. So do it before bed. Maybe you get 2 or 3 significant experiences for the day. You turn them around, meditate on that perfect alternative you come up with for a minute or 2, and then integrate that via that ball of white light process. Root that ball of white light in your heart chakra and breathe that in. And now you've just, in the language of your mind, taught yourself how you want to proceed on all levels, rather than just verbal or just visual. You're talking whole mind language there. So the daily review is a great way of doing that, and you'll see your whatever you're working with, you will kind of have an increase in quality of life as you go about doing a daily review every day. Other possibilities, the self-scaping exercise basically takes this perfect vision exercise that we did today and it builds on that. It's like a list of these perfect vision exercises, and you kind of like doing a daily review, but you would do it on, for example, your life over the last year, for your most recent kind of an inventory and some learning on the most relevant things in the last year around your whole life. And by doing an exercise like that, the self-scaping, which I'll do in another video, you get insights like, oh, maybe it's something like, wow, I could really use a different kind of work right now. Or, man, I could really use some friends right now, some new friends. Or, man, I would love to spend more time in nature, or whatever it is. And you're already, by doing the self-scaping exercise with all of the perfect vision exercises that are contained within that, you're already increasing your quality of life and learning through the process and gaining clarity. So you could do this self-scaping. It's like a wish list on your whole life or an area of life. Like you could go, please show me all the significant and important memories I have in the area of work right now. And you'll get a list of all the things that maybe you experienced in the last little while, but you haven't sort of gotten the gold out of it in terms of processing the lessons and really thriving through that. So these are just a couple of ways where you can use this perfect vision exercise. And I'm going to be doing some more tools over the coming weeks to help you use them if you so feel joyful and increase your quality of life and for all those that you're with as well. So visit my website at alanrobertson.ca with the dash in the middle there, the hyphen, for more tools to help make your life what you want it to be on your terms. Thanks for watching this, and I'll catch you around.